Well, I thought it couldn't get worse, but then it did get worse with your next recommendation.
Okay. I want to preface. This is not a. Don't say recommendation. This is not a recommendation, right? This show.
Are we really going into this one?
I'm not ready. This show, I never felt more betrayed by a show in my life.
Yeah.
So,
straight up.
What was your category, Connor?
It was name a MILF hentai you didn't like.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what was the name of this one again? I forgot.
It was Sleepless, Midsummer something.
Midsummer Night.
Okay, first of all,
that's what it made me after.
Yeah,
watching
I'm
this
definitely
hentai.
sleepless.
I'm gonna be real. I watched this one. Most hentai I watch, I don't have subtitles.
Right.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times I'm missing out on the fine details. I hear a lot. But then this one I went back to rewatch because I was really confused why it went the direction it did.
What the story is.
Yeah. But so here was my understanding of the story before I kind of got to episode 2. Okay. And this is why I was excited for it. Because I was hyped. So it opens with a kid getting in a taxi. It's all burned in my memory, by the way.
Yeah.
Because I remember. It opens up with a kid getting in the taxi. And he's like, he's in like the middle of nowhere kind of in Japan. He goes to the cab driver. He's like, all right, take me to this manor. And he's like, bro.
The MILF Manor.
The MILF Manor.
I'm like,
it is literally a fucking MILF Manor.
He's like, bro, you sure you want to go to the MILF Manor? A lot of the people don't come out when they go there. He's like, bro, take me to the MILF Manor. Henceforth, go. What are other words?
Chop, chop.
Faster. So then he gets to the mansion, and it's pretty high. It's pretty fucking high.
The first episode, hype.
Bro, it's great. So it's like the first episode, you meet this maid. She's great.
Yeah.
Really attractive.
Yeah.
They go in the onsen together, get a little frisky.
Yeah.
It was great. I love it. I love it when they don't do sex right away.
Yeah.
I love it when they have an interaction and it doesn't lead to sex.
Yeah.
So I'm like, classic.
It's like little tease.
You made me stick around.
Yeah.
And something to look forward to.
I will say one thing I really, really liked about this hentai, like initially, is that it has a very, very different art style that doesn't look like every other copy and pasted art style. Because I feel like a lot of hentai right now has gotten so homogenous, right, in terms of their character designs. You know, it's everyone looks like the same copy paste. Everyone has like a fucking buffer on their skin to make it extra shiny. And
all the characters look unique in this.
Yeah, this one looked really unique. It had a really unique art style.
I feel like it was like a nice mix of like kind of the 90s hentai style with like a modern style, right? Like mixed in.
Yeah.
Every character in this mansion was just like a 10 out of 10.
Dude,
right?
Great. Yeah, I mean, like the first one, my favorite was the maid.
Yeah.
And we had a scene right away with the maid, and I was like, yes.
Yeah.
And I loved it because she was kind of like, I mean, I guess if I have to. You know?
Yeah.
It's like indifferent. And I always think that's, I don't know why I like that, but I'm like, it's kind of hot.
Yeah.
And it was fun. And they didn't, and she's like, no, I'm not going to have sex with you. And I was like, nice. Don't give it to him. He doesn't deserve it. He doesn't deserve it.
Make him work for it.
And then after the maid, they find one of the other MILFs in the...
Who seems
the
like,
mom, right?
who seems like the mom, which I was like, yes.
Here's where it is.
Real
Here's
shit.
where it goes.
We got the entree, and now we have the main
And
dish.
so it turns out that in this MILF manor that they like to get a little frisky. And they
Yeah.
like to collect, I guess, semen.
Well, we'll get to that because like I was very, very much enjoying the first episode.
Yeah.
But in the scene with the mum, I was just like...
Something made you feel uneasy.
Something made me feel uneasy, and I was just like, I've seen a lot of blowjob scenes before in anime, but why does she keep like sucking his dick, kind of like a straw? That's weird. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe it's like a maybe it's just a
Maybe it's a fetish.
yeah, maybe it's a fetish.
The thing that made me a little uneasy was that they have this spray, which is I guess just Viagra spray.
Yeah,
That just immediately makes your PP recover after doing it. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure they just like having sex a lot.
Yeah.
And that was great because we got plenty of scenes, and the mom was great. Mom was super. I loved her. Just in general. I wish she was real. That was great. It was a good scene. And dude, you cannot believe how hyped I was for episode 2. And I because I watched this when it came out. Right. Literally like day 0. I was there.
Your patient 0.
I was refreshing. And
Connor was at the midnight screening, waiting in line.
I was at the midnight screening with the other comments, right? We were all hyped. We were all shaking hands in our suits like, Great, another successful MILF one. It's been months since we've had a good MILF and literally it had been, and I cannot preface this enough. 2022 had literally no good MILF hentai at all. There was like one or two tops that were passable.
Right.
And this finally felt like we were getting one. We were getting the goated MILF experience.
This is what we've been waiting for.
Yeah. I was like, woo, baby, yes! It was like MILF Manor IRL, get that shit out of here. We finally got a real one.
Yeah.
And then I waited after 3 months. Episode 2 finally came out. You can imagine how excited I was. You can imagine. Boy, you can imagine how excited I was. And then when I saw what happened, when I saw what they did, I couldn't believe it. I'd never felt so disgusted.
Oh my God.
Not only did it not live up to my expectations like Masterpiece 3, which is already, we can get into that later.
Yeah.
But it was like they took a 180. I was so disgusted by the direction
It turned from
it went.
MILF Manor to just some of the most
Saw.
like
Just
it
Saw.
was Saw.
Yeah.
It was Saw.
It I
watched
would say it was
Euphoria.
closer to Hostel because unfortunately there was no way this guy was gonna came out.
We watched Euphoria, and I'm not going to lie. I think this one was even grosser for me.
You know what? I kind of agree.
It's definitely on that same level.
Yeah.
This one hurt more because I was also invested. Like I was there. This is like if like I was like a Mario Kart fan and I found out that like I don't know, like Mario like kills everyone after the race. Like
Dude,
when he
I
wins.
feel I've never been clickbaited by hentai so hard.
No.
When I explained this to you guys, it could because I warned them. I was like, dude, it gets gross.
And I was like, it's Connor.
I've seen Euphoria.
Yeah,
like,
it can't get that bad. And then I remember, I've never had like an instant recoil moment. like when.
Okay.
So
Maybe you should walk through it in the most YouTube safe way you can.
Okay, to set the scene. I'm gonna explain this like a doctor. To set the scene, episode 1 ends on a cliffhanger. And it's great because he's done the maid, he's done the MILF, and then now he gets to do the daughter. Okay, and now it's like a now it's like a cliffhanger. It's like, ooh, what? How's the daughter gonna be? She seems like she has a little bit of an attitude.
A tsundere.
A little bit of a tsundere. Okay.
I was okay with like not really exploring her because I already got my fill. I was my 2 favorites.
Yeah.
We got it.
Yeah. And then so you load up episode 2. You're like, oh, I'm okay. Let's see where this goes. And then starts off pretty okay. You know, she sprays some more spray on his dick.
And she's talking to him a bit weird.
Talks to him a little bit weird. You're like, something seems a bit off, but I'm sure it's just normal. And I think the family's just weird.
Yeah.
And then she brings out this contraption.
Bro, dude, I'm scarred.
She brings out this contraption and
she says, I want to drink some tapioca milk tea. That's what she says.
Oh yes, I'd forgot about that.
She's like, I'm thirsty.
She is thirsty and she wants to drink some milk tea. So she brings out this contraption, which is a syringe with some tapioca in it and some liquid in it, with a long tube, and then proceeds to shove the tube up the guy's you-know-what, and I'm not talking about his ass.
I believe the scientific term for it is called sounding. I think that's the term for it. If you know what that means, you know what that means.
So it's his urethra.
Yeah.
And then she injects the boba in there.
And then she proceeds to inject the boba and the liquid into this, and yeah, that is when
and you see all the details of it going in, and
then she drinks it afterwards by making a nut with boba, I guess.
And the dialogue is just
it's
like,
awful.
It is
cringe-inducing. Like after he like gets it out of his system, she's like, I want a little fresh milk with this one.
Yes.
And then he proceeds to climax into the glass, and she's just casually sipping on this thing. And I'm like, bro, what is wrong with you?
I'll admit, right? I'm not going to say I like it just in case you worry about that. I was like, maybe that's just the one gross thing that happens. I'm going to skip past this. And it just got worse.
And then when the maid comes in?
Oh, I don't even think. Let's say the maid comes in. There is a banana, which the maid is forced to put somewhere. And then let's say maybe he had a bit of Taco Bell the night before. and then that comes out. And then
the guy's just sitting there, just like.
Oh wait, no, wait. I'm missing out on a very important detail. The banana goes in a place, and then the dude has to help push the banana in with
his pee-pee.
With his banana.
With his pee-pee. Okay. For one, I was grasping onto anything that I could like hang on to for like me to take my mind off the situation, and thankfully, like I was like, there is no way this banana is keeping its shape.
Yeah.
This dude shoves this banana in with his pee-pee, and it perfectly maintains its shape during everything.
I'm like, no way. That banana ain't right.
And obviously, right after you've had a tapioca drink, you need a banana sundae to wash it down.
A banana chocolate sundae.
And so that's what comes out, and they eat it, and then you're like, oh my God. And then somehow you're like, well, that's at least the worst is over. No. It doesn't get worse. It certainly gets worse.
Yeah.
Because in the next scene, they just straight up just go to an operating table.
Oh, yeah. So there's a secret room in this manor that in episode 1, it's behind this white door. And the maid says to the guy, whatever you do, don't enter through this white door. It's a secret room. But obviously, when that gets pushed down your throat, you get a little curious. And so one night he wakes up after he's force-fed this banana chocolate smoothie. He wakes up and he in a stupor, he goes, oh, I'm going to go check out this room. And goes down into a fucking sus-ass basement. And there's just like test tubes.
Yeah,
and flasks.
There are disemboweled penises and tits just floating about. I don't know. Like this is a very weird subplot.
It's like I was on board, and I don't know who this second episode's for. Like I don't
psychopaths clearly.
I think it was to fuck over people like me. I think they wanted to fuck and ruin.
They were definitely just trolling.
Yeah. I think they wanted to troll people like me.
Yeah, I said the last hentai I think was made to limit test erections. I think the person that made this just has a vendetta against erections.
Yeah, I think they wanted. If anyone nutted to this, I genuinely am concerned.
Yeah. It's because like the thing that makes this so bad is just how much detail they put into these scenes. Like I remember that first scene with the tube, I could feel the entire male population I like collectively grab their crotch area and go, ugh!
And I remember as well, like when she's putting it in, she goes, don't squirm or I might make a hole somewhere else. And I'm like,
yeah. You know, like
my pee-pee.
I'm pretty sure when like Yoda said he feels a disturbance in the Force, this like they were animating this scene. You know,
and this made me think like, how are we allowed to show that, but we're not allowed to show a dick? Like you're pushing it again. Like what is this?
The standards, bro.
Just
the double standards.
I could not explain how angry I was and how ashamed I was that I.
And then the final scene, right? Where
I turned it off by this point.
Oh, okay. So I sat through it to the end because I was like, how could this get any worse?
I did kind of laugh at the final scene. Go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I laughed at the final scene. So basically, what happens is he gets knocked. He sneaks into the test tube room, right? And he's like, oh God, I got to get the fuck out of here. As he's about to escape from the room, a mysterious shadow like comes in, knocks him out. He wakes up on the operating table, and he's fully naked, and he is inside the mom. And he's like, wait, something feels strange about this. And she goes, yeah, don't worry about it. We replaced your pee-pee with a much better pee-pee. The much better pee-pee is what I can only describe.
Oh wait, I remember this
as a extremely flaccid, 15 feet long, tentacle-looking motherfucker that just like slithers out.
I remember saying, wasn't it like a completely different color as well?
It was a completely different color.
They gave him a black cock. And it's a comically large black cock. I think my mind was broken at this point because I just full on started burst out laughing.
I thought I didn't read it as that. I thought it was like a decrepit dick that had gone from like
bro. It was so soft. I'm like, how did that thing stay in?
It is so comically large. It is basically like a horse cock. They gave him a black horse cock.
It's bigger.
It's bigger than a horse cock, man. And this thing slithers out like a snake. And it's just like, and he's just like, what have you done to my cock? And we've
turned it into a pacifier.
We've improved it.
Yeah.
We've built it stronger, better.
Like, you know when people have those arguments, they're like, man, we shouldn't change things in anime because we shouldn't censor it because it's part of the culture.
Yeah.
And I'm like, shit like this is like, absolutely not. 100% we should censor this stuff.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? This shit is fucked.
And then as well, the final scene is like the maid and the mom or the daughter. I don't know. At this point, all three of the ladies are just in cahoots. Right?
Yeah.
And of course, they have to insert a straw into the end of his pee-pee again, and just being like they're sharing a fucking like cocktail on the beach.
A very long straw. It is. But considering how massive this horse penis is,
they got one of the crazy straws, dude. Like,
man, I couldn't believe that they made this. Yeah. How do you get someone to sit through and animate that? Like, these animators are chads.
I wanted to be in the boardroom when this was pitched.
I just couldn't believe it. Episode 1, I bet everyone was on board. They're like, "That's a resounding success, gentlemen. We've done it again." And then this one, it was just like, what?
And then the director went on a fucking coke binge. He just came back and he was like, I've got an idea.
Like, there's no way they made this and people did not need to go to therapy after it. Like, I refuse to believe you could animate this and not have like consequences.
Oh yeah. This is the first time where I'm like, oh, this is what NSFL is. Like, this is not safe for life.
This is not safe for life.
Yeah.
And
it's so gross.
It's just the thing that shocks me is, at least with other like messed up hentai that I've seen, at least with other shows, you get that tone from episode 1. No, this was
I was debating. I don't read the tags when I watch anime.
Yeah.
I just click on it and scroll through.
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I was great. I can't get over how portrayed I was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I felt backstabbed.
Man, you know, like sometimes when I watch like those Netflix documentaries about people getting like betrayed or screwed over by someone, I'm like, man, I've never felt that way. But this way made me feel that way.
Yeah, because like when you recommended this to me and I saw that it was in the...
is not the word.
Well, when you suggested this show to me...
I want to put this right out there. I do not recommend this.
When you suggested to me with the pretense of this is a MILF hentai that Connor didn't like, right?
Yeah.
And I watched episode 1 and I was like, wow, his standards have gone up. I'm like, he didn't like this one? Like, what the fuck? And then episode 2 kicked in. I'm like,
yeah.
Now I understand.
Yeah, there is...
I felt bad that I didn't make you guys watch that.
Yeah, thanks for that, bro.
It was a horrible day to have eyes.
But it was nice. It was nice because I felt like I got to share a trauma, at least with my friends. So that's nice.
We can all go to therapy together now.
Yeah, we all understand the pain and the suffering.
Unfortunately, I don't think we can go to an onsen again because I think my dick has now inverted back into my body.
Oh, it definitely did.
It does not want to come out.
I lost a centimeter.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Chastity belt is on now. Like, I don't want to ever.
Hello, we are good Christian boys now. We do not watch hentai.
It's just like, man, we didn't have a single good MILF hentai last year. Like, no banger.
And then that's what you got.
And that's all we got. Episode 1 was the best we got.
Yeah, and then it ends with another unsuspecting kid being like, take me to the MILF. Like, take me to the MILF house. I want to go to the MILF house. And now we know if someone asks you to take you to the MILF house, no matter how good that sounds, you say no.
Yeah, that's why I'm not watching MILF Manor. I'm distraught at any amount of MILF.
Who knows what they're doing behind the scenes?
I don't want to know what they do on episode 8.
Holy shit!
But is there anything else we want to say, or can we wipe this from our memories?
Yeah, I want to get rid of this.
Yeah, first time where I'm jealous of Men in Black, where I can just fucking pew.
Yeah, this is what I want right now. Yes.